Hey there. We are now on episode 5 of Skeleton Crew. This was once again another very solid episode. After 5 episodes, I think I can say as a whole, this show has impressed me. I thought this was going to be alright at best, but I've been enjoying it a lot, and I'm very excited for the last 3 episodes. For this episode, it felt just the slightest bit slow in the middle of the episode, but honestly, I'm gonna blame the ads that I have on my Disney Plus rather than the episode itself. We got to see a little bit of what was going on back on Ad-Atten, got some more questions about Jod, some action and adventure, and a pretty interesting ending to the episode. But with that, let's get into episode 5. We start this episode back on Ad-Atten. Wim's dad sneaks away from his desk at work when he sees Neil's mom walk in. He asks her why she's there, and she says that something has gone wrong and that they will need a barrier access code and that he has to steal it. Wim's dad goes back to his console at his desk and plugs in a device to attempt to get access. As he is doing this, one of the droids sees him and begins to head over. The droid noticed an energy surge at the terminal and also notices that he is hiding something behind his back. He is caught with the device, and the droid takes him and the device to his boss, who happens to be Fern's mother. She has the droid delete the memory of the incident and shut down before talking to Wim's dad. She's trying to go about things in a legal way, while Wim's dad says that is not working. They're just attempting to get a message sent through the barrier to help the kids while not saying anything specific about the location of the planet. Wim's dad says the supervisor is not going to help and that they need to do something. It appears that back on Ad-Atten, the kids' parents have been trying to go about things legally for a while, but the supervisor is not helping at all. I'm definitely starting to think that the supervisor is going to play a bigger role in the final few episodes, and it might be someone very important to the story, such as a character we will hear about later. Back on the ship, the crew has 33 tied down. KB has attempted to rewire 33 so that the orders from his old captain does not take over again. After some arguing over who is going to turn him back on, KB does so and 33 comes back to life. 33 says that he will not harm the kids because those were his old captain's orders, and he names his captain as Captain Renard. Jod recognizes the name and says that Tak Renard and his ship, the Onyx Cinder, was one of the most infamous pirates ever. Jod goes on to say that Renard disappeared while looking for Ad-Atten. Fern asks 33 if he remembers where Ad-Atten is, and he says that he does not, but he knows that the coordinates are kept in Captain Renard's lair. Fern tells 33 to take them there, and 33 just sits up, breaking the ropes that were tying him down, like they were not even there. I thought this was pretty funny because my first thought I had at the start of the scene was, I do not think those ropes will hold him. 33 pirates the ship towards Skull Mountain, Renard's lair, and then he tells the kids the story of how Renard was betrayed by his concubine and stabbed, but before he went out, he set the ship to crash onto Ad-Atten, killing the rest of his mutinous crew with him. The kids turn back to Jod and Fern asks him what a concubine is, to which Jod says that story time is over. 33 says that he is excited to go back to his old home, and Wim walks out of the cockpit. Jod notices that Wim seemed off, and after thinking for a moment, goes to find him. He finds Wim in what looks like one of the cargo holds, and he finds that Wim is very upset. Wim hides his datapad real fast, and is very visibly upset. Jod doesn't know what to do and starts to back out before Wim says that all he wanted was an adventure. Jod tries to comfort him by saying that they are going to Renard's lair, and that's pretty cool. Wim goes on to say that things just aren't what he had thought, and everything is far scarier than he thought it would be. He also says that he misses his dad and his mom. Jod tries to comfort Wim by saying that he'll see them soon enough, and Wim says that he won't see his mom. This gets Jod to go back over to Wim, and he tells Wim to forget all attachments. Wim says that he can't, and Jod says that with an imagination like Wim's, he could find adventure anywhere. He tells Wim, your focus determines your reality, before Jod uses the Force again to pick up Wim's datapad. He tells Wim to make the life the one he wants to live. Wim asks him how he used the Force if he isn't a Jedi, and Jod does not answer this. Through this conversation, it seems like Jod has some knowledge of Jedi teachings, but not the full thing. It also seems very apparent that Wim is now missing home and his dad, and he is definitely realizing that the situation they are in is very serious. The ship enters orbit to a planet, and 33 says that the lair is hidden in the mountains. They see some ships which appear to be leisure ships, and 33 is very confused by this, as the planet was supposed to be dangerous. 2 escort ships go beside their ship and welcome them to Lanupa, a planet known for being a location for being a spa and hotel. The voice says that children are not allowed, and after some arguing as to who is going down, Jod says that they are, if all going out, that he needs all of their Old Republic credits, most likely for bribing. They land the ship, and Jod introduces the kids as elders. The kids are very poorly, attempting to appear old. The host welcomes them to Spa Ridge Mountain and guides them in. 33 is upset that they ruin the mountain, a sentiment he continues to have throughout the episode. As the crew is getting checked out, Jod gets his weapon taken, and 33 gets a restraining bolt placed on him. Before they head into the spa, Jod uses the Force to take the knife back. While getting the tour, the host mentions that the banking clan is staying there and that they are on high alert for spies and imposters. Shortly after this, Jod is recognized by a woman who calls him Dash Senton. This woman's name is Pocket, and it is very obvious that they have a past. After getting threatened by Pocket, Jod immediately speeds things up to get out as quick as possible. Once they get up into their room, Jod explains to the kids, who were enjoying a pillow fight, and I want to say real quick, this show does a pretty amazing job at making these kids act like kids. That doesn't sound too hard, but there are so many times, especially within Star Wars, that kids have felt odd or just flat out mini adults. Looking at you, Kenobi Show. But Jod explains to the kids that they need to leave as fast as possible or pirates will find them. They mention that they need to go to the spa, and KB quickly mentions that she can't go there, which Fern asks if she is worried about corrosion from the steam. KB denies this, but it is evident that that may be the reason that she doesn't want to go. After more arguing, Jod finally gets the kids to listen and start looking for Rened's symbol. While all that is going on, Pocket calls Brutus and says where Jod, or Dash, or Silvo is staying. Brutus says that he is on his way and he will pay Pocket once he has Jod. Back out at the spa, we end up seeing a hut, which wasn't something that I was thinking of, but it makes complete sense as to why one would be there. While looking for the symbol, Jod, Neil, and KB get spotted by the guards of the spa, who make it very clear that they are looking for the crew. As they begin to run away, Wim, Fern, and 33 are underneath the spot. They find Rened's symbol on the floor, but get spotted by something in the cavern asking them for refreshments. The creature shows itself, and it is an absolutely massive creature. They radio for help, and we see the other part of the crew getting cornered by the security. During this chase, Jod gets called by another name, Jodwick Zank. At this point, I have absolutely no clue what his actual name is, but the crew manages to escape from the security, and 33 finds them and says that Fern and Wim need help. They all go down and find that Fern and Wim have made friends with the creature, whose name is Catholips, and the creature helps them by smashing the floor where the entrance to Rened's lair is. And Catholips gives a cute little smile. It's kind of fun. While this is going on, Brutus arrives on the planet. The kids go down into Rened's lair and almost immediately get decapitated by a laser, which Neil activated by accident. They push further down as the security searching behind them gets taken out by Brutus's crew. The crew reaches a pool chamber which 33 says that they need to get under. It turns out to be filled with acid, and they begin to look for a way through. They find some text on the ceiling saying that they would have to make the greatest sacrifice. The kids think that that means a life, but Jod knows that as pirates, it likely means treasure. He throws in the last of the credits, and it drains the pool of acid. They head down into the lair and get shot at by Brutus's gang right as they enter inside. They shut the door and lock it behind them. They turn around to find the lair, filled with all sorts of treasure and Rened's throne at the back of the room. They all begin to look for a data port to find the location of At-Aten. While looking around, Wim finds a silver and gold lightsaber on a pedestal. I don't personally recognize the saber, but if anyone else does, please let me know. Wim decides to not say anything to the crew, possibly because when he brings up Jedi to the rest of the kids, they don't really follow along that much. After looking around for a while longer, and Neil almost falling into another trap, they find the data port hidden by a switch that looks like some food. They look for the At-Aten coordinates and end up finding it. Jod tells 33 to refill the pool with acid behind them, and it appears to take out a large amount of Brutus's crew. Jod also asks to see Captain Brennan, and 33 plays a recording of him. The recording is heavily distorted, so we can't see the face, but Rened calls At-Aten the last Old Republic mint, which, for those who might not know, basically means that At-Aten is a money factory. After hearing this, Jod challenges Fern to a duel for the right to be captain. Jod tells Fern to yield, but she doesn't and tries to attack Jod with what appears to be a candlestick. Jod holds Fern with a knife to her throat and tells her to yield. Wim comes around the corner with the lightsaber in hand to defend Fern. He ignites the saber, upside down, and it flies out of his hand. Fern ends up yielding, and Jod is now the captain. Jod tells 33 to take the kids captive, and Wim remembers that they are right next to the trap that Neil activated earlier. He hits the trap, and all the kids fall through the floor. Jod then uses the Force to grab the lightsaber, and the episode ends. Now, this honestly might have been my favorite episode so far. And most of that is because of the continued mystery that we have here. We still don't appear to know Jod's actual name, we don't fully know the story of Captain Renard, and we still have plenty of other questions, such as, whose lightsaber was that? Now, some theories that I have is that Jod may be a descendant of a Jedi or Sith who did not receive any training, that or he just happens to be Force sensitive, which could also be the case. But I don't really have any doubts that he is Force sensitive at this point, given how he has used it so far. Unless they really get us and it's just a magnet, but at this point, I don't think so. I'm also curious as to if he's going to go back to the kid's side again at some point, or if he's going to stay true to his pirate nature. It will be interesting to see at the very least. I also still think that the supervisor of At-Aten might be a pirate at this point. It could be someone from Renard's crew, or even Renard himself. I imagine that a lot of time has passed since Renard's disappearance as well, so maybe it's a descendant of either of those options. But either way, I have been enjoying this show a very good amount so far, and I'm very excited to see where it goes from here. Will Jod come back and save the kids later? Who knows? But with that, this will be the end of this video, and we will be on to episode 6 next. Have a great day, and God bless.